Hello everyone, and welcome to my CBS Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. After a romantic evening with Carter, does Steffy become pregnant? Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful suggest that because Steffy Forrester Finnegan and Carter Walton are both upset about their failed marriages, they might let desire run wild. Will this result in a major error and some news that will change your life? Daphne Rose Walton no longer feels at home in Carter's life, despite his best efforts to persuade her that they should be together. Daphne has been deeply affected by the fact that she is unable to give birth to Carter as they had intended. Daphne has been so affected by it that she wants to go back to Paris. It will be obvious to rely on Steffy in this situation because Daphne's decision has broken Carter's heart. Spoilers indicate that Carter will want to be there for Steffy as well because she will help him throughout this trying moment. Carter will learn that following the entire beach incident involving Sheila Carter, Steffy shoved her ring at John Finnegan. Finn doesn't seem to see how much Steffy needs Sheila out of their lives. Steffy doesn't think Finn really understands that Sheila crashed his airplane because he didn't tell her and even hurried to defend her. Naturally, you can be sure that Carter will be completely sympathetic and the man Steffy needs right now. Carter will also need Steffy, possibly in more ways than one. Given the situation, it's simple to see Carter and Steffy giving in to temptation. Steffy and Carter might have no problem letting their passion run wild between their shared sadness and whatever alcohol is consumed. But Carter and Steffy's passionate evening together can be followed by regrets. If Steffy becomes pregnant, things can become particularly problematic. What if Steffy ends up with Carter's bun in the oven instead? Carter is yearning for a child that Daphne is unable to support on her own. Carter and Finn could have to wait for some crucial results because, of course, a paternity test would need to be done first. Nevertheless, if Steffy ended up giving Carter the child he's been longing for, it would be quite the twist. According to Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy and Carter will undoubtedly face more marital trouble in the future. Keep an eye out for any unsettling developments. Katie Spencer acquires a new enemy. On The Bold and the Beautiful, the number of people who have a grudge against Katie Spencer has been steadily increasing. Soap teasers indicate that Katie will have to deal with more irate mothers in the coming weeks than just Brooke Logan. Here's what will happen next, read on for all the information. Melissa Dillon is bad news, according to Katie Spencer, who believes that mothers are usually the best. Will Spencer's mother believes Dillon is a gold digger who is attempting to take advantage of their affluent family. Internet rumors suggest that Katie's suspicions may be correct. However, Dillon's backup is en route. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that when Dillon's mother visits the area, Katie Spencer will get into a nasty argument with her. Why Darcy is finally arriving now is unclear. Where was Dillon's mother when she was dumpster diving and homeless? Her daughter is now starting to succeed. There are rumors that Spencer and Dillon will be involved in an accident together. If that's the case, Dillon's mother might hold Will or his family accountable for her daughter's misfortune. On the CBS soap opera, are you excited to meet Dillon's mother? What is her conflict with Will's mother, in your opinion? Monaco chaos, stalker terror, and dangerous secret explosions. Spoilers for this week's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful suggest a few surprises. With Sheila Carter, we may anticipate chaos in Monaco. Melissa Dillon, meantime, appears committed to winning Will Spencer over. Discover what will happen next in the soap opera by continuing to read. Let's begin with Jacqueline MacInnes Wood's character, Steffy Forrester Finnegan. In Monaco, the brunette has already met Sheila. She could initially think Sheila went there with John Finnegan. But when Steffy finds out that Sheila and Finn traveled to the nation together, she will freak out. I could understand Steffy questioning whether or not she can put any trust in Finn. However, Steffy might not have time to deal with Sheila at this time because she has a lot of business in Monaco. Later in the week, though, she manages her feelings. That suggests that Steffy might become weary or have a change of heart. Even though Sheila had already saved Kelly Spencer, Steffy remained unconvinced. It would therefore need to be more significant than that. She declined Deacon Sharp's marriage proposal over with Taylor Hayes. The woman clarified that she doesn't need a document to demonstrate her love for Deacon. She would agree if she were younger. Deacon would want to question Taylor further about why she declined, though. She may not immediately acknowledge that her family's disapproval is a factor in this. Deacon might wonder if he picked the proper woman if Taylor declines. The timing of Deacon's reunion couldn't be more ideal as Steffy takes on Sheila in Monaco. I'm not claiming it's occurring, but if it were, it might be really soapy. According to spoilers for the upcoming week of The Bold and the Beautiful, Dylan won't give up on Will. Katie Logan Spencer is committed to learning the truth about Dylan's background. But Dylan is equally committed to claiming Will as her own. Carter and Daphne Rose Walton are still in mourning for the family they believed they would have. Their future will now be very different. Does that imply a miracle baby, adoption, or surrogacy? Which plotline do you most want to see this coming week? Post your opinions in the space provided for comments below. Finn was just included in Sheila's betrayal. On The Bold and the Beautiful, Finn was initially the target of Sheila's constant pursuit. On the plane, he did everything correctly. Finn insisted that she go. He turned down her plans. He honestly thought she was returning to Los Angeles. However, everything changed the instant his feet touched the ground in Monaco. Finn changed from being a helpless observer to actively taking part in Sheila's treachery. Finn gave Sheila the tool to ruin his marriage by opting for silence over openness. Sheila slid into Finn's seat on the aircraft. Finn initially responded to the problem by setting clear limits. He was inquisitive, straightforward, and unyielding. Finn told his birth mother to go away on several occasions. He made what he believed to be a strong pledge. He thought she would go back to Los Angeles. Finn had no desire to participate in her perverted idea of a family vacation. Finn was completely innocent up to this time. He was a just and honest husband who was attempting to make amends with his wife. However, a skilled manipulator had him in his sights. When Finn and Steffy got back together, things really started to change. Finn bemoaned his difficult travel while standing in stunning Monaco. However, he left out the most crucial aspect of his trip. Steffy is entitled to the truth. She would have wanted to know that the same aircraft was the scene of her darkest nightmare. Finn committed a deliberate error to preserve the trip's romance. Even if it meant keeping Steffy in the dark, he concluded that it was worth it to make her happy in the short run. By doing this, he protected the secret rather than becoming a victim of Sheila's boundary crossing. On the crowded Monaco beach, Finn noticed Sheila hiding in the distance. He ought to have alerted his wife at this point. Rather, Finn's original plan was to physically push Steffy away. Instead of telling the truth, he tried to hide her eyes. This is the core of Finn's issue. He made the incorrect decision because of his natural desire to preserve his love moments with Steffy. He cannot keep his wife unaware of the current threat in order to shield her from a predator. Finn attempted to handle Sheila discreetly by himself. He played into his mother's hands by doing this. With Steffy, he caused a different, serious trust issue. Finn is no longer a naive spouse. Sheila's secrets are now under his control. Carter gives Daphne a sincere promise. Carter and Daphne have been motivated by love as they deal with the shock of not being able to conceive. They have reassured one another of their dedication. However, Daphne has been having difficulty accepting that she cannot provide Carter with what he desires. While being open with Daphne about his personal sorrow about her diagnosis, Carter has been making every effort to assist her. Due to her physical condition, they will not be able to have the family they had hoped for. Carter hasn't given up on the prospect of becoming parents, though. Steffy hasn't allowed the discussion about Logan to ruin her beautiful anniversary with Finn in Monaco. What has happened is that they found Sheila at the beach. Steffy was meant to see Finn's birth mother before she left Monaco, but her flight had been postponed. Sheila chose to enjoy the stunning surroundings rather than spend her final hours at the airport. When the couple discovered her, she was relaxing on a beach chair, despite having spied on them while they were at the chapel. She attempted to conceal herself with a towel, but her 8 toes exposed her. When Steffi discovered Sheila, she became enraged. She had assured Finn that while she could manage the strain of Forrester's struggle to survive, she was unable to handle his real mother. Although he didn't expect Sheila to board the plane with him, he assured her that she wouldn't have to. Brooke is Ridge's romantic distraction. Forrester Creations' trip to Monaco was intended to be a recalibration. But things haven't gone exactly as Brooke, Ridge and Steffi had hoped. Logan's introduction of Hope's line has caused a stir in the global market. Every buyer of FC is discussing it. This is a David and Goliath tale to the industry. They are awaiting the outcome of both fashion houses' achievement. But Forrester's new couture collection isn't selling as well as it should. Instead of the clothes, the rivalry has been the topic of discussion. The company's financial situation is dire. In addition, Fanny, a close friend of the family, is developing a line for Logan. Thinking that Katie had informed Ridge and Brooke, she told them the news. The couple was shocked to learn that the perfumer was now connected to the startup. Carter and Daphne have been working non-stop. However, their grief over Daphne's diagnosis takes precedence over the stress of landing Forrester's comeback. To deal with their feelings about not being able to conceive, they have been turning to their loved ones and friends. The revelation that Daphne has premature ovarian insufficiency has saddened her so much that she won't think about other ways to conceive. Although Carter hasn't brought up the subject, he has discussed it with Ridge and Steffi. He wants to start a family with Daphne, but even if it doesn't turn out the way they had hoped, it is still possible. Spoilers for the bold and the beautiful reveal that Forrester Creations is still projecting superiority. Additionally, Steffi Forrester Finnegan and Ridge Forrester Brooke Logan Forrester are unwilling to acknowledge Logan's accomplishments. In actuality, FC paved the way for the establishment of the business that Katie Logan Spencer and Bill Spencer had envisioned. Logan's initial buzz was caused by Eric Forrester, the patriarch of it all. Hope Logan Spencer then went on to reject her mother in favor of freedom at Logan. During its fashion junket in Monaco, the Forrester contingent is meeting with a number of alleged reliable contacts. One of them repeatedly questioned Ridge about Logan, comparing FC to Goliath and that fledgling fashion firm to David. The biblical tale of Goliath, the gigantic Philistine, being vanquished by a much younger and smaller shepherd is well known. David, the winner, went on to become the king of Israel. Having been in the fashion industry for many years, FC is regarded as a titan. Additionally, it is significantly bigger than Logan, which was established only a few months ago but has already gained favor with the public and fashion press. Many fans can identify with being under the shadow of an older sibling or siblings, which makes the rivalry between Katie and Brooke plausible. Katie is willing to fight Logan and FC after being continuously made fun of and then smacked by Lang's character. But this is much more than a business battle, as Brooke, Ridge, and Steffi were talking about. The Spencers and the Forrester family are at odds. The Logans, of course, have also picked sides. Brooke is unable to acknowledge that Katie outwitted her twice. However, she and the venerable fashion firm she works for will either have to accept this harsh reality or Logan will continue to develop at an exponential rate. Brooke hasn't been acting like a major employee of a multinational fashion house ought to. Sheila Carter is once more a distraction, but Steffi is a strong co-CEO with a sharp business sense. The company is called by Eric's last name. But because to his desire to concentrate on design and his advanced age, he has acknowledged in recent years that Ridge and Steffi were the superior candidates to manage FC. However, he must first be honest with himself before persuading the family to accept reality. Logan hasn't cheated because of his notoriety. It was just business, and Katie is winning thus far.